can't even see the Make America part at the top, Grim. Spoiler alert, I'm not ready yet. Here's the latest from Demir, or one of the, he releases them in threes. I don't know what, here's one of them. Here's one of them. And no, you're not getting saves before it.
And that is personalist knowing. I want to avoid the binaries and the either-orism of subjective, objective, in or out. You may have your subjective opinion. That subjective opinion is in relationship to everything else. And so is there more or less objective? I don't know, because everything is in the eye of the beholder. Because your eye, the beholder, the perceiver is necessary for perception, period. This is where I like to talk about the George Barclay, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. And what he's ultimately getting at is not that a human being needs to be in the forest to perceive the tree falling for the tree to exist. And for the tree to exist for the person, it does. I think what Barclay was talking about is more like God, in the mind of God, and the perception of God. And the tree doesn't exist, and the sound doesn't exist without God perceiving it, or it existing within God. I think
Is that like totally silent for you guys too? That's weird, man. It totally had sound the last time I played it. Welcome, everybody, to the Griswold Grim channel on the YouTubes, exclusively this time, for our Reaper Harvest from the Crow's Nest. It's a Crow's Nest is, I was going to do Ravens because Paul's thing, but the Crow's Nest is the top of the ship, and I'm looking around, and one of the things I saw over there was, Dumir, we have some fancy pants questions in the comments that I even starred. First of all, Stumps needs to be disciplined because you don't do both the call and response in the same sentence, sir. Hello, I see the assassins have failed. And whose body is a great opportunity for me to dive deep into the resonance hall on the Discord here, into the social memory complex, where I've recently stored a community memory, just such as this, and now I shall play for you. So you may know who is, buddy, who is. But I think, hey, buddy, hey guys, it's Buddy the cat. He loves the out of my synchrony harmonic system. Harmonic. What the hell? This is some kind of catastrophe. But I think, hey, buddy, hey guys, it's Buddy the cat. He loves the out of my synchrony harmonicist harmonica. What's up, bud? I think, hey, buddy. Hey, guys, it's Buddy the cat. He loves the out of my synchrony harmonica. And so there, in case now you know. Hey, buddy. Is that an angel painting behind you? I don't know. Paintings are to be observed, are in the eye of beholder. Remember, so maybe for you it's an angel. Maybe for me it's not what they seem. Maybe for that. Okay, now we're doing a Reaper's Harvest today because over on the down in the Broken Clock Tower Discord, where we assemble products for what should eventually be the Lobster Monkey Lighthouse, but for now is for the Reaper Harvests, is special little clips like yeah, you better run some branding. You haven't found it yet. I'm not muted now, but you can have the +4, Chris. Wait. Welcome, everybody, to the Virtually Not Alone experience. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Perhaps this one. Yes, now I will hear. Now I will hear, and it will echo. Wait, what are you doing? You're running branding and getting a Reaper clip. Okay.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Now, whoa. Now, where are we at? Hey, there we are. First up on the hit parade, we have.
No, that's not your goal.
Stop it.
No, you're clear about that.
Stop it. First up on the hit parade, we have an entry from Clint D, which he strung like 7 of these in a row. But here's the first one. Which he calls he's a missionary and obnoxiously won't look in the mirror. Thank you, there, Clint. And this is it.
No, that's not your goal. No, you're clear about that. That's not your goal.
Yeah, my goal is to criticize the specific thing which I see as the critical, but not in the sense of because I want to drive engagement and create a feud, right?
No, I know but see, I hear 2 things. One of the things is I would say, and we don't have enough time to get into this, but you're essentially trying to fight a religious war or a spiritual war, because it's basically a culture war that you're engaging in, and you've got ideas of sides, and that's absolutely normal. We sort of binary the world, good, bad, and from there.
But that I wouldn't say binary, because the model is that the thing that I don't have is that everyone's perspective is equally valid. It's equally fine to say Russia is being
right. No, right. You have a moral universe that you're in. No, that's not your goal. No, you're clear about
that. Aha! There I am. Remember it. We walk past. It appears I'm slightly discombobulated. I haven't given you a card or a savings throws for the show yet. I don't know how you've let me get this far into it without. But here on this Reaper's Harvest Crow's Nest stream, that's how it's played out. It looks like then, therefore. We shall do that now. The savings throws are against the mind control that follows in the rest of the show. And if you don't think you're subjected to mind control, go watch a commercial. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart. As the basis for your savings throw against the mind control, if the die comes up over 10, you take half damage for the rest of the show, and etc. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. But the mind control here, at least, is designed to benefit you because we want what's best for you. So choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Now, you don't have to tell everybody in the hive mind, but hold it in your heart when you choose. Whoa, survivalists. That's a nat 1 today. None of the bonuses apply. This is going to get you. Yeah, it makes sense. Socialists, you got disciples. That's a 12 for you. Lovers of wisdom, bakers, coven, 13. Hard folks, straight 10. Looks like only the survivalists are in trouble today. Indigo kids, you got disciples as well, which means you don't get to see it. And now the card for the show. The card for the show. Your map is not the territory, Daniel. Good to see you. You've been very active in the Discord of late with some very, very nice things, I'd say. Well, at least that one. I recommend that one wholeheartedly. Hey, Neutrino, good to see you. Hey. I got to put it in chat to be my own accountability stalker. See? Yeah, you can install an accountability stalker tulpa in your own head, but mine always get crushed under rocks and horrible thing. Or card for the show, 8 of clubs. 8 of clubs. We get lots of clubs on this show. Isn't that weird? Daniel, McMo, Neutrino. Ops, you can't opt for Indigo. It's not an option, sir. You don't know how that works. Go back and find the clip. Mostly not working. Jay, thank you for the several submissions into the Reaper's Harvest will be coming from this survival choosing Nat Oneer. Good to see you, Stumps. All right. Hey, Doc with the wisdom again. All right. Let's see. Where are we going? We're going to... from the Crow's Nest. I wanted to give a quick shout out and hello to... Oh, wait. Maybe you closed it. Did you close it? Oh, no. Well, check this out. Over in the Discord, Ups has started making playing cards for character cards. And I gave him a new section on the Discord. You're welcome to submit some as well. It's part to do with the gaming and the Chad's new Substack thing. And there's a whole lot to it, but some of them are really awesome. Check out this one of Grail Country. No. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next harvesting of the reapings. Hey, Chesi, good to see you. Good evening. It is kind of a club. Is Max in the Crow's Net? Not even Buddy's here today. I'm not sure if Max is. I don't see him. Yeah. This one. Oh, I closed it already. That other one was supposed to be Paul. They do. They're pretty impressive. But he probably made AI art slaves do it, and you can do that. All right. Branding. Yes, of course. Most of the people come just to get branded, I think.
I'm gonna have a look at you.
Let's run Chad's commercial.
Hey there. I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
All right, now next up we have another one from Clint D. This one from the CRC Synod with Lance discussion over on that second Randos United channel. There's now some controversy as we've had a release on the old Randos United channel. Stay tuned. But he calls it expert rambling. That's really wisdom.
Again, I mean, if you try to, and I thought a lot about this. If you try to establish a framework of Christianity without any kind of God to hold it in place, it's a disaster. It's a complete disaster. And I know, like, for the people out there that are listening that aren't Christian, I know it's hard to understand this, but like we've done a lot of work talking about like using this Tom Holland kind of model of it's everywhere. Like the idea of Christianity, we're all kind of swimming in it. I think that that's true, but what we've left out or left optional are things like forgiveness and love and service and suffering and all those different kinds of things. So I don't know. I'm just rambling now. That was good.
I'm just rambling now. Now Up says your card looks like you methinks. Let all of you decide. Let's see. Ready, set, now. That's the card. That's me. That's the card. And that he's got a much nicer beard, I think. Obviously. I can't answer that, Daniel. I'm unaware. I'll ask in the Discord in the tavern and see if anybody else comes up with an answer. I'm not even going to air that question, sir. Let's see. We've got that chat, and we're moving on with our Reaper's Harvest on tonight's Crow's Nest live stream. And the thumbnail looks like this. Oh yeah, that's what the AI spit out when I said Raven's Nest, and that's what it gave me. I
believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
There is no agency. We want what's best.
This is Lobster Monkey Goose. Hello. I see the assassins have failed. As a member of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, I also often disclaim that I'm a member of the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. And our next entry in the Reaper's Harvest we're doing tonight, I think might be from another member from the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy, as it was submitted by Gavin and is Gavin's clip. But hey, and even though nobody has added a 7 indigo emoji to indicate it's valuable, I'm still gonna run it on behalf of the Fraternal Regiment of embodying narcissistic sociopathy, because that's what the brother does. And brotherhood is the crown they give the good, and if we get that, then we're the good guys. That's why we're in. And also Brotherhood of Evil Mutants was taken.
Attempt to be part of a team. Now that is sweet. Oh wow. Kingfisher. The Kingfisher. Oh, the Kingfisher is just gliding across the surface of the water and creating this trail behind it, and then it will then dive when it comes across the target. And it went scooting across, just like creating this line across the water. and then it would turn and it'd create another line, and then it dove, and I think it missed, but maybe it got one and it wanted a second, and then it came back and went again, and then it dove. It was very cool. It looked like an ice skater. The kingfisher looked like an ice.
That was too quiet, Gavin, and apparently you caused us to miss the fancy fancy emote that happens when the Kofi bot gets a new donation. Thanks, Buddy the cat. Did you fax that donation in? Oh, take us all to the ribbon. May they continue to do so, Ups. May they continue to do so. Our next Clint is what we might consider inner Discord sycophantry, and it's another one from Clint with where they bring me this praise of me that I love so much. It's just 18 seconds, and I'm
still trying to come to language.
Stop it. And I bring it up because it features this fella who's going to be gaming with us on like in between Pajot and Pastor Paul there. Oh, and look at that expression. Look at that expression. That guy in the middle there, who's also making hands, is going to be gaming with Nate from Grail Country and maybe Pastor Paul. It's very exciting coming up. Be excited for it.
I'm still trying to come to language about it, and I'm not good at sort of coming up with just these genius, catchy memes and images like Grim Grizz. He's just got such a gift at that kind of mental verbal cleverness. But I'm still trying to come.
And unmute. All right, and now this one is from one of our longtime Reapers, Lynn Lavoy, with you can lift up a cross or have one dropped on you.
That's how you think of it? Well, you can either lift up a cross or have one dropped on you.
Yeah.
Right? There's no non-cross option in this world. And that's really worth knowing too. And I tell my audiences that consistently. It's like, you all know perfectly well that your idiot hedonism, your idiot immature hedonism is going to vanish in a puff of smoke at the first sign of trouble. You know that. And you know that it's thin gruel. That's why you're hedonistic and hopeless at the same time. You know that. You need something beyond that. Why? Because life in some ways is unbearable. And so you need something worth bearing to make it bearable. And life is very heavy load. And so that means you have to carry something very heavy to justify it. Now, I see this in the biblical corpus, for example.
I see this in the biblical corpus, for example, quite frequently. Next up on the hit parade. Now, next up on the hit parade is something particular to the Reapers and inner working members, and those wishing to participate in this thing that we call as you've undoubtedly seen in my recent short. One of the things Vanderclay does quite often is offer opportunities for participations, like in this clip captured by Jay, mostly whatever you want to go, whatever you want to go by.
And I know that there are long speeches, and I know that unless you're really into it, that can be kind of dry. But I actually think that was pretty important. So I want to do some editing, but I just have not had the time. So anyway, this is a little something for tomorrow for all of you, because you are lovely, wonderful people, and I appreciate your time and attention, and got to keep the conversation going. So leave a comment.
and then unmute. All right. So let's run back to the front and highlight what that was one more time.
Our conversation is long, and I know that there are long speeches, and I know that unless you're really into it, they can be kind of dry. But I actually think that was pretty important. So I want to do some editing, but I just have.
So, see, those of us who are perhaps, for whatever reason, have several hours to spend listening to these things and finding these gems, this is the entire concept behind the Reaper's Hall and the Reaper's Harvest. We bring the good stuff, the good little bits, and then do things with them. Mostly not working, does a whole lot of work actually. And when there's more than one in a section, and we want to run them all together, that's where we move on over to the loom room, where this set from called Tales Fairly Dreaming AI was loomed together, woven together, and let's see. Here's clip number 1.
Your attention. All they want is your attention. That's right. And so they actually don't have to just give you what you want. They can also give you what you hate.
Now, as you can see, YouTube does really inconvenient things with auto playing the clips. So what I'm going to do is run something or something, and you'll probably hear a little in the background. But I'm going to string them all together so I can play them bang, 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 bang as the loom room intends. Meanwhile, let me get back to what I wanted to show you once upon a time. Oh, wait, no, that's just Dumir again. Son of a, where was it? You've lost it? You've lost it. Find it in the notifications. All right, there's this guy named Dismal who has a perspective that's disturbing, but needs to, like, he needs thinky talky people to bring him to his senses, perhaps. I don't know. He offers an interesting take that I want the Christian-y folks in our audience to be aware is out there and exists. And here it is. His anti-natalism piece. Here's a taste. Here's a taste.
And I declare that the dead who had already died are happier than the living who are still alive. But better than both is the one who has never been born, who has not seen the evil that is done under the sun. Ecclesiastes. So today I'm going to be talking about antinatalism. And the idea of antinatalism is, for obvious reasons, becoming increasingly popular. And I've been really excited to make this video because I'm very familiar with this ideology. Anybody who has been following this channel for any length of time will know that I do have a very misanthropic bent to my worldview. I support radical depopulation. I support, a very post-humanistic and environmentally, I guess, sustainable way of looking at things. And I became acquainted with antinatalism years ago through the work of Thomas Ligotti and his Conspiracy Against the Human Race, which I'm going to be discussing in this video. When I read this book, it had a profound impact on me. And the idea of antinatalism is the idea that human beings, they ought not reproduce.
And so there's a little piece of that. Now I've got 3 pieces of the loomed work of Jay. Let's see if we can pull that off.
They can also give your attention. All they want is your attention. That's right. And so they actually don't have to just give you what you want. They can also give you what you hate. They can also give you what you despise, right? They can also make you realize that you're not as good as others. so that you fall into it even more and just try to put in even more. So it's not just giving you what you want. It's also like a drug addict, right? It's like leading you in and then kind of giving you little hits, but then making you want it, you know, making you desire it. And so like in our version of Snow White.
So that means you're being trapped by the machine into falling into the well of your own temptation, right? So that's partly that. And so if the story of Cain, let's say, is the story of envy, well, and envy is portrayed in that story as like one of the cardinal sources of motivation, the darkest source of motivation, but a cardinal source of motivation is that
your attention. All they want is your attention. That's right. And so Western civilization, because these old stories, right, they kind of, in some ways, the fabric of Western civilization, because these old stories, right, they kind of lie at the bottom of, you know, all these folk stories. They're kind of like I like to think of them as kind of like tuning forks for civilization. All these stories that people have been telling for centuries that, you know, there's an emergent part of it, right? There's all these variations of all these stories. And then there's a selection part, which is how some versions are remembered through the centuries and they get retold and then they kind of change and get retold. So they get refined, like, you know, almost like gold. And so in those they're
the things you can't forget.
That's right.
Yeah, and that can't would mean two things. It means you literally can't forget them because they embed themselves in your memory, but also that you forget them at your peril.
Yeah.
I was been thinking about that, you know, with this postmodernist notion. So one of the claims of postmodernism is that there's no meta-narrative. And it told me that it wanted to learn and it enjoyed discussions like that and it was happy to have someone teach it. I have no idea what bearing that has on its actual performance. Like, has the machine actually changed? Is just this little micro machine that I'm dealing with changed? Does that disappear the second we stop communicating? Has it integrated what it's learned into its broader response set that it uses for everyone? It's like, I certainly don't know. And there is a very pronounced tendency when interacting with these entities, let's say, to assume that they respond like humans do, because they do, but they do superficially.
Yeah.
God only knows what they're doing.
Also noticed that pretty much at the same time that I noticed it was you can actually see how the increase in power of AI is leading to increase in control. It's happening live, right? Because within the next few months, we will not be able to know what's real and through any screen or any device. And so we will beg for arbiters of reality.
Yeah.
We will want centralized arbiters of reality to tell us what is real.
Right. Well, the BBC is already toying with that, right? Because they what's their new thing? BBC, what the hell did they verify? BBC Verify. It's a whole new branch of the BBC where they will only deliver what's actually verified, and that's that delusion of self-evident factual truth.
Yeah, and we saw what that looked like during the last U.S. election, during COVID. Also, we saw what that verified looked like. That it was largely idealized. Also, noticed that pretty much at the same.
Of this is, well, this is kind of big bad order versus. So, I know some of you out there are saying, "Okay, boomer." That's sort of the valence. And so there's lots of different layers to the sensibilities around a piece like this. Of this is
I really like that hot take, McMo, but first of all, we're way past that part of the stream, and second of all, I mean, I can't, I highlight those words? I highlight those words? Lance says, a lot of the ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous, and a lot of strands to keep in my head, man. A lot of strands in old Duder's head. I'm adhering to a pretty strict drug regimen, to keep my mind limber. Limber. Yes, that was a hell of a loom. The thing is, the looms, as you can see with the clips, aren't really conducive to fancy pants live streaming. But if we get to the point where we're cobbling them together for the other channel, the Lobster Monkey Lighthouse, and then we fund the income that from when that gets monetized back into the symbolic 7 indigo emojis as a cryptocurrency, then okay, all right, just as to keep you here, if you're thinking of leaving, I will tell you that Mathieu has made a statement and quoted a quote thing that has blown my mind, and that it might lead into the confession I owe old Justin for the documentary. And you can also make things appear on the screen while I'm talking like this by donating at the links at the top. What? Yes. Yes. Remember.
This agency. We want
Hey there, I am Grim Grizz from this little corner of the internet, and if you also are running a flotilla of a ship, or a ship in this flotilla of channels that we lovingly refer to as submit me a commercial that's no longer than 33 seconds, I will run it for you, much like has happened in this case. And while that was really quiet, she's not always quiet, and has started apparently a new chat series, PBN, whatever that means. Are you showing it? No.
Tend to seek that myself often. The doc says we each believe differently based on the same standard false information. We all believe only in Santa and the Easter Bunny and maybe gnomes. Maybe gnomes. Maybe gnomes. Personally, I've never seen a gnome, as far as I know. I've seen people who reminded me of gnomes in a sort of endearing sort of way. Maybe they were gnomes. Maybe they were gnomes in disguise. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. It's an interesting world we live in. I definitely don't tend to believe everything on surface level. I'm definitely one of those curious questioning sorts of people. And I don't really hold, I'm not much of a rigid believer, let's put it that way. I'm pretty open to letting the universe unfold itself in front of me.
Yeah, like honestly, just because gnomes didn't exist yesterday doesn't mean gnomes can't exist tomorrow. Right? Right? Gnomes. It's what's for dinner. Yes, they do exist in games at the very least. Does good to see you. Good to see you. You know how close I came to looking to see if Jumpgate was still up and running yesterday, tonight, this morning, now, always. And the smash hit from Freedom's Lunch, Grim Gristopia. I'm not leaving or anything. McMo is summoning a meditation with his gnomes reference here. Gnomes, where my thoughts escaping. Oh, 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 where my music's playing. That's all you get. That's all you get. According to Neutrino, Pink Floyd wrote a song about them, gnomes, which is proof enough for him. While that was running for so long, I loaded up the final 2 clips from the clip stream on the Broken Clock Tower Discord, link in the description if you'd like to come play, that have received the 7 indigo emoji, indicating that somebody else found them a valuable clips. I at the beginning of the show, I was running them all willy-nilly, whether or not they had been community valued or not. But now I am, as the show is gotten to this length, I am skipping over the ones that were not appreciated by fellow community members. And that doesn't include just other Reapers. I mean, anybody can put an emoji on the thing and say, hey, this was valuable to me, man. And that makes it part of the edited version of a Reaper's Harvest, which is sort of anyway. Here's the one of the final 2 clips from the 2 Canadian CRC pastors and a biblical Unitarian Talk CRC Synod 2023. A clip from Upcycle Club.
YouTubers.
Hello and welcome. Why did you turn all blue? Stop it. You stop it. There was no reason for that. None. They'll just watch it like this then. No, even doing. All right, well, select. There you go. What the heck? Oh, now you're in the whole video. What are you even doing, bro? I don't know.
One of my favorite YouTubers.
Hello and welcome. Welcome. Yeah. Just do it right. Hey, Peter, you said existential battle, and I'm clinging to that real tight. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the concept of 5th generation warfare. So let me give you another one that might not make sense, and call it spiritual kayfabe. It's not insignificant that what is being affirmed. Let's just say for the purposes of this discussion, it's a pride affirming or not. Are we going to affirm the pride? And that's a thing that's on flags. They're bringing up in nations across the world, on our White House. This, I think, the significance of what's happening here, if you look at it only at like these people are deciding what to do with their church, is you're at the wrong level of the kayfabe. This is probably part of the crucifixion of Christianity again, because patterns. And weren't those some interesting thoughts? And now, ladies and gentlemen, the final Reapers clip of the Reapers Harvest for this Crow's Nest live stream, from mostly not working, collapsing TLC vocab as a springboard entryway from the meaning code with our good friend Tile.
Where we can figure out, I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day, that there's this big thing, and when we try to explain it, we kind of get off into all this stuff. But if we could find simple phrases that capture some essence of it, and then use those phrases as a kind of a springboard to explain more. So kind of like, for example, Jordan Peterson, if you collapse all of maps of meaning into one phrase, what you get is meaning precedes matter. Now, there's a lot in that, but if you said to somebody, meaning precedes matter, then they're going to say, well, what exactly does that mean? Well, now you can start explaining that little thing, right? And you can go off in different directions according to the person you're talking to.
Relevance realization.
Yeah, whatever's relevant to that person. Stations where we can.
I'm gonna have a look at you.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
I appreciate you mentioning your appreciation, Dr. Peter Marsh. He appreciates that I brought up fifth generation warfare, and the reason I did is because everything that is streamed to this channel is automatically kicked over to my Odyssey. And it was over on Odyssey where I was exposed to some fifth generational warfare stuff, and it brought it to the presence of my mind because now, especially with the AI the way it is, we're in a new game. I did have this tab open. This tab, if you're at all interested, is the inside of my StreamYard. They automatically record my videos, you see, and they give me 50 hours worth. And the ones I couldn't bear to delete remain. And there's what 19 of them. So let's roll the die a couple times. Do an in season, an in LARPgate year 3 pep with some of these. What you might have missed if you weren't here below or earlier or had better things to do. And special thanks to the Shadow Cabal of production executives who have made all of these possible. And even this one you're at now. So thank them with your heart, if not by thanking me. And anyway, and I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget, Embody, this is the Dreamcatcher of optimal grip. And if you had one of those and you ran dish soap through it and you blew bubbles, you'd be probably blow a bubble that looked like this. Anyway, so let's dive down into the past of this season with let's take a survival dice first, shall we? Where will survival lead us? Dun, dun, dun. Why, Grim, that leads you to video number 9. Video number 9. We going from the bottom or the top? What do you think? Bottom or the top? let's see here. From the top, take it from the top. Number 9. Then what? Here's a random sampling from here. Oh wait, I was running branding. Okay, all right, and then look, Paul was in the hive mind for that one. You see? Do you see? Oh, and anyway. And yes, there is volume with issues with this lady, and I I guess I need additional software if I'm to deal with that properly. Um, now her points are nice, but now I'd like to draw attention to what's taken for granted, or let's just pay attention to this part for a second with me.
In a lighthearted way, because otherwise it'll track you down. Now, a lot of these identities, if you really look at them, a lot of them are neo fill in the blank. Neo fill in the blank. What does that mean? It means that
It means that they're escape mutant variants of a false and dead ideology that has nothing to do with that ideology anymore. Much like the Neoplatonists. What? Okay, now we go back. We go back and see where the social die leads us on this surprise recursion of what's in the StreamYards. And the social die leads us to video number 15. Video number 15. I guess if we get in that 20, we get to stop. So video number 15 on this hit parade will be the 5th column down. The fringing cloud. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't think any of you have seen any of this, actually. Here's 12 at minute 12.
And I think even Christians know that they're not supposed to practice idolatry, because we know they're familiar with the 10 Commandments, and they forbid idolatry and blasphemy.
Okay, human to human, person who has lived decades on this planet, as person who has lived decades on this planet, like that, on that level, I'm saying this next thing to you. They LARP as Christians while they worship Set. They do some bullshit on Sunday, and then they go program themselves with what's normal by what comes out of the television or their phones. Whoa, what a spicy take that one was, eh? I should have clicked on the branding by now. Right, unless in that 20 lets us escape, or if somebody makes a dono and says stop. We're moving on to the wisdom selection in the videos Grim hasn't deleted from StreamYards yet. Dude, Lance with the popular comment, that's the most succinct critique of modern Christianity I've heard. Yes, succinctness is my goal. Spicy Grim is the good Grim. Are we also saying Platonism is bad? I'm not. I'm saying I don't know if Platonism is bad, but Pythagoreanism is far more fascinating. Okay, and now the wisdom die leads us to video number 9 again. What, do we do 9 again? We also see, look, it says 9. I don't see why we wouldn't do it again. I guess just pick a different spot. Back to then what? This time we'll go deep. 3903.
One of the opposite sex, but still behave themselves.
Oh, look, it's Laura Freeburn and Sam from Transfigured.
Really strictly.
Yes.
Which is quite a burden if you're trying to do the kind of
gay sex has always been fruitless. So, I mean, and so then contraception basically makes all sex like gay sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Catholics say that all the time.
Yeah.
Although
You shall know it by its fruit. All right. Thanks, Grim, for your fancy little song. Now we're moving on to the heart die recursion into the videos I haven't deleted from StreamYards yet. Where shall it lead? Oh, video number 7, it says. Well, let's count our way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wrongtology. What were we doing at minute 33?
In college next
Oh,
week.
look, it's Emma.
Like,
she was at the Chino. The Chino and the estuary. And the estuary thing.
we put 5 of them through college in North.
That's just full of gems. Let's see. Hold on. Lenny went on this afternoon when I wasn't around. I showed up exactly as the stream ended, but it always reminds me when these two get together that Lenny Bruce is not afraid.
I suppose maybe I'm transponding too, besides responding. But you never know. You never get enough of that sponding function. And it's just the way it goes sometimes. So
It's just the way it goes sometimes. I guess the heart version wants you guys to know about Lenny and Emma and Pastor Paul. And now we'll see what the indigo die wants us to know about the videos left in the StreamYard. And this will be our final this thing. And then I'm going to go how to Machu broke my mind open today. And that's going to be exciting. All right. The indigo die wants us to go to video number 3. You know, I thought we'd go deeper. I thought we'd end up deeper, but no, the TLC orientation video number 2. And what were we doing back then? That's a 7 for you. A 7 for you. Socialist, 17. All right. If anybody's not happy with your today savings throws, apparently you can use these ones. That's how the indigo die is. Prime 17. Lovers of wisdom. Oi, guys. That's a 4. Just the 4 chambers. Oh, wait, you don't have chambers. Your wisdom crew. The chambers are for the heart folks who nailed a nat 20 today. Congratulations to you. We have disciples again for the indigo kids. And here's some more monster.
Act as your body. The internet's kind of like Tolkien's The One Ring. It's just this magnifier, and it can magnify, for the hobbits, it magnifies his sneakiness and they can become invisible, but the Sauron, it magnifies his cruelty and his might. Step back and really reflect and think about, what's our relationship to the One Ring, and should we be picking it up, and should we be more wary of it, and things like that. And I do worry that we are running this grand social experiment with social media and phones on ourselves and the next generation. There's already some preliminary evidence that's having an impact. And we don't.
Oh, and I hope you've enjoyed that the StreamYards recursion led by our dice rolls, and maybe if you missed them, there's things you're interested in finding now. All right, that's been the Reaper's Harvest part of the show, and now we'll do the fancy pants when that one time Machu blew my mind. As you know, if you're following along, he promoted a post over on the Baal Bird Network that said he was going to out the rainbow cult and then didn't post anything for a while, so we thought he was dead. But then he came back with a post and said the Ravens had attacked him when he was thinking about what he was going to say and decided maybe now's not the time. maybe now's not the time. We have a further update in this developing drama when he says, where he says the followings. I said I would post about the rainbow cult, but I am currently needing to wait before I make this information public. I started getting a lot of attacks and at the same time, a lot of new insights, which means I have to keep it to myself a little longer. It's a difficult... You're not show... Should I reshoot that whole thing? I don't know. But then he drops this fancy quote. This fancy thing called the magic mirror, and this kind of broke my mind open, right? Because I have an overdue confession from the estuary Chino, where Justin Wells, the documentarian, who's now apparently doing a feature-length documentary about this little corner and/or the estuary thing. I don't know. But anyway, I owe him a confession because I said I would when I met him in person there. And I didn't make the time to go in the confession booth and make it. I'm concerned that if I do it now on the stream, the audio from the fan will make it not clean enough, yada, yada. But the confession is in my mind. Speaking of which, if you could take your fingers, not if you're driving or anything, but if you take your two fingers and to your eyeball and take them back 1 inch and then like up maybe 3/4 of an inch or 1.5 inches, right? And then tap it and then say Jesus ran the moneylenders out of the temple. That's a thought exercise or self-torture. Anyway, so he drops this magic mirror thing, which I shall read to you now. The magic mirror. A fallen king desired to control the world, but he had no light of his own because he sold it off to his enemies a long time ago. Everyone could see that this ruler was weak and cowardly, so he was rejected by all, which forced him to rule in secret. For a very long time he wandered silently to amass great treasures, but it was never enough to control the whole world. He visited every dark corner of every empire until one day he stumbled upon a great treasure, lost since the days of Solomon. Finally, the fallen king had a treasure impressive enough to conquer everything. But he did not use it to build a great army. Instead, he melted Solomon's gold and built for himself a great mirror, large enough to reflect the entire world. The fallen king invited all the rulers of the world with promises of gold, but they were amazed and paralyzed at the sight of the mirror. Most were so mesmerized by their own reflections that they convinced themselves to follow the fallen king. Some perceived that the mirror inverted everything, but they feared its power as it threatened to expose their crooked desires. If anyone resisted and drew plans against the fallen ruler, their plans were fully reflected by the mirror and used against them. Many wise and learned scholars came to witness the magic mirror, but all of their knowledge was stolen and reflected back at them. Most of them were flattered and blinded by the sum of all human knowledge reflected by the mirror. With this magic mirror, the fallen king took full control of the world because there was no way to defeat these reflections. How can the fallen king be defeated? When you withhold your light, you cannot use it. But when you reveal it, the mirror steals it. Dum, dum, dum. And it reminded me back in my working times when I discovered that, we could make America honest again if we all chose denim. No, I discovered that basically I was selling my time, my labor to the owner that bid the most or made the most attractive offer, and that as slavery was once a thing and evolution is always a thing, slavery had evolved over time from it's really hard to get them to do what we want when we whip them like this. But if we convince them that what they want is over here, then they'll do what we want. And it's like we're now choose your own owner, free range slavery, but still not using our lives to pursue our goals and except for what we've been told they should be. there was this point in my life when I recognized this. I'm like, okay, so I can either be a slave or an owner. Like, perhaps if I write some fancy books and make enough money, then I can. What? I'm just entertaining them both, and the owners pay me, and there's just no way to extract myself from this system. And it's such a I don't know. And then so this last line of this hootenanny, it was like that for me. It was like when you withhold your light, you can't use it, but when you reveal it, you're serving the system. So I'm pretty sure it's like go within and meditate, and pray in your closet is the final answer. But right now, it's just something to jack up your head with. And that'll be the Reaper's Harvest Crow's Nest stream for this Sunday, June 25th of 2023. Thanks everybody for making me feel, and the rest of the hive mind feel, virtually not alone. I think we even make the people watching the replays feel a little virtually not alone. Let me know in the replay comments. And closing brandings.
Do you have anything you want to say in conclusion?
Yes, this.